You're fine. You're gonna be fine.
You can edit stuff out between.
No! Put that down! Give me that. Give me that.
No.
Give it.
Sit down. Put it in my pocket. But right now we're gonna sit down. You can edit shit out.
I'm not editing this out. That's too much work. Put it down. Put it down.
Sit down.
So you thought the kids were bad. Alright.
Oh, you're not gonna edit this out?
No.
Yes, you're gonna edit this out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Alright, you want to introduce? You want me to introduce?
You introduce.
Hi, I'm Cecilia. I'm just kidding. Hi, this is Matthew, my husband. I haven't had anything to drink, by the way. He's had some eggnog with some special sauce in it.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm the sober one.
Alright, so we've got some questions that some friends and family sent. And do you want to go like back and forth? Like I answer one, you answer one, or should we just...
Gosh. Just go with it.
Oh,
Say the question.
All right, first one's from Lori Morris. How did you not know that goat was pregnant? Which one? Which one?
Well, which one had the white baby?
Dottie. She didn't look pregnant. I didn't think she was pregnant. Okay, but we're going into winter, and they're putting on a little extra weight as far as, and hair, because they're like fluffy now.
Well, the more mature female goats are a little wide in the midsection.
Our goats are short and fat.
Short and wide. And when we had Pumpkin, she was very distended.
She was
huge.
huge.
She was, and 3 babies later.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess we just assumed, since this is kind of our first year with dwarf Nigerians, that as a mature female goat, that
that's what you look like.
Yeah,
they're full figured.
there you go. So yeah.
So that's why we didn't know. We kind of thought maybe, but at the same time we'd never.
Me, you.
Yeah, Cricket, but not Dottie. She did not get, and she only had one, so that would explain why she didn't look big. Does that answer your question? I hope so. If not,
Yeah, so we're still learning. Maybe next year or 5 years from now, we'll be like, oh yeah, she's definitely pregnant, and we'll be like,
we're not gonna care. We're gonna have too many goats
we'll
to
be
care.
the goat whisperers by then, and
Yeah.
we'll just know we'll have that 6th sense. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Next question. Tasha Lynn, what time are you up in the morning and done for the day? What do you do on your downtime, non-homestead, non-farm time?
Okay, so the first part of the question you need to answer.
Depends on the day. Because I'll wake up anywhere between like 3:30 to 6. Just depends on if I can sleep.
But as far as getting out to do the chores.
Yeah, I go out at usually 6:15, 6:30. Takes me 30 minutes. My responsibility is the goats. So I have to let the moms and the babies out, feed them, water them, make sure their hay's full, and then I feed the horses just their bucketed feed. And Corbin does all the rabbit schedule, and Dee Dee goes out and fills hay nets, and she will usually walk back because she's back there anyway to feed the bucks and check their water and hay for me.
So yeah.
What time do you get up?
Well, on the weekday, I will wake up anywhere from 5:15 to 5:30 because I have to leave the house by 6:30 to get to the air station. To go to work. So on the weekends, I sleep in.
Sometimes, but he's gotten a lot better about getting up. Sometimes will get up after I come in from feeding and make coffee if I beg.
There you go.
So.
Beg? You beg?
Ask
You more
politely.
like demand. So
You should have just made it and know that it needed to be ready.
So
All right, downtime. Do we have that?
What do you do on your downtime? Well,
Yeah.
you answer that. I watch trash TV.
I do. Not so much anymore. I really like YouTube. It's very interesting because I get a lot of ideas. I'm usually researching things, so I like watching YouTube, make my videos. I like hanging out with my goats. being out there and working is not stressful. I enjoy it. I mean, once my body's exhausted, then I just go drink wine and watch YouTube.
Trash TV.
No, the YouTube is not trash TV. Desperate Housewives and 90 Day Fiancé.
Which is what you watch right before we go to bed, and So, yeah. Now, I guess, is this a two-part?
Yep.
I have to answer
the
what
question.
do I do in my downtime?
Yep.
If I'm not out on some project outside, YouTube videos.
Yeah.
No, I watch a lot of the political YouTube channels. Yep. So, that's probably. Yeah. I don't watch TV anymore.
No, you don't watch any TV unless we sit down and watch a movie. You don't.
Yeah, Mandalorian. We watch that together.
Yeah, now it's over.
It was our jam.
Now we have to find a new jam. If you have a recommendation for jams, not the berry kind.
Not trash TV. There we go. Okay.
All right, next question. Lisa Malloy, why? So that right there. Why? That's because
it's very open-ended.
That's because I took a picture of me sitting on the couch with a baby goat. And she said, why? So I figured we'd just answer. It was a question on the post that asked for questions. So you will answer
this one because I can't answer that.
Well, because nobody can stop me.
Not even me.
Nobody can stop me. Nope. All right, next one. Shannon Spencer wants to know, what is your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself? I don't know, Matt. What are you doing tomorrow?
No, you're answering this one. Yeah.
We can't plan 5 years in advance. There's too much.
No, you.
Okay, I think it's a waste of time to try and plan 5 years in advance because so much will happen in our next 5 years. The kids are both going to be gone. He will retire from the Marine Corps, and that is going to be a big turning point. Neither of us right now knows if we will stay here on this property.
Or if we'll be living in a van down by the river.
We're not doing that. I can't keep goats in a van.
Those who get that reference, you'll find it funny.
What's that from?
Keep going.
Whatever. So that's kind of where I stand. As far as where I'd like to see myself, there are so many skills that I will want to learn in the next 5 years. A few of mine for this coming year is food preservation, because I really don't know how to keep food long term. Canning, freezing, I'm learning all of that for protein and for produce. And cheese making and doing more with the goat's milk.
Totally, we need to get into that because we'll be dealing with COVID-24 by then. And I think a lot more people will be hopping on board.
That I'm editing out. No, I agree with that. I think becoming more self-sufficient and self-reliant is important to both of us. So I would say understanding how much can go on in the next 5 years.
Yes.
We're taking it a day at a time.
Yes.
Matt doesn't like to plan long term. I love to plan long term.
That's why that's her question.
Whatever. All right, next question. Holly Polka. The Polkas.
Hey
Jerry and
Holly.
Okay, what are goats for besides milk? Are they meat or little organic lawnmowers or just fuzzy wuzzy pets? That is verbatim.
All three?
All of that.
All three.
All of that.
All three.
Though, okay, have to say, goats are browsers, not grazers, so they like to eat things up in trees instead of grass, but our goats do like the front lawn. They did really like the front lawn.
Well, we're short, so they can't raise very high.
Yeah, except Sookie. Sookie gets up there like a giraffe.
If we took a dwarf Nigerian and bred it with a giraffe, we could probably get
You have a short, fat, with a long neck.
That would be something.
Our goats, I know that you could eat them for meat, but I don't think ours would be very good. They're not a meat breed, so per pound meat bone ratio or whatever, there are better breeds for it.
They would be tasty.
Well, we may have a video about that in the future.
There you go.
All right? So, all of the above. Next question. Turn that thing back on. All right. Jessica Dorney. How has containing them been? We kind of failed on that in the first.
Talking about goats.
Yes, talking about goats.
Because the chickens just free roam.
Yeah. We're not talking about
So the goats. So my first memory of when Syl brought a goat onto our property, we named him after the fact Houdini, because he got out and Cecilia and Davin had to chase him through multiple properties.
people's backyards.
And I'm glad you weren't shot.
Me too, around here.
Yes.
People were very nice.
That's got to be odd when you see two frantic young ladies bounding through your backyard chasing a goat.
Yeah, but some people were very nice because they saw the goat first and they were like, oh, that's a goat. And then they saw us and they're like, he went that way.
So he got out of whatever enclosure
We got out 3 times. First time was the little bad one we built. Second time was when we put the electric fencing up, thinking that we didn't have to train this goat to electric fencing, and he just went right through it. And then the third time, I think he got out of it once when we made it taller because he got on top of the roof of the hut.
Sure.
I had it too close to the edge or whatever.
Which one of those 3 times
The
was
second
it that
time
you were
when your
chasing?
friend was here.
Yes. When Simon was here.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, because it ended up with him jumping into a stream or swamp or stream that came off a swamp, and I just went in after him. And Dee Dee's like, Mom, you fell in the swamp. And I was like, no, I jumped in.
And we do have alligators and water moccasins, so I'm glad that you made it back.
Are you really?
Okay.
Are you? Are you sure?
Yes.
That's so sweet. Okay, so now, since we've gotten the Premier One fencing, we have had 0 issue. Aside from
a baby goat got through, but because the mom
they
was
go back and forth. Sometimes I turn the box off.
We haven't had to chase any more goats.
Nope, haven't had to chase any more goats. And the boys are in red top fencing, 48 inch, I think it is.
Because everyone knows what red top fencing is.
She will. She's the worst person. She'll know what red top
There's
is.
other people watching these videos.
Okay, for those that who don't know, red top fencing is a woven fence. So it's woven wire fence, and it's got a red top. That's the brand, and that's what the bucks are in.
And that's how tall?
48 inches, I think.
So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought it would be easy to put that in, and it sucks. So that's why we just got 2 new rolls of Premier One fencing, because it's just easier, and we can move it wherever we want it, and I like it a whole lot better.
So you're welcome for those that.
You're welcome.
That
Get goats, because she said she's thinking about it.
Oh yes,
Get goats.
goats are great. Well, Syl likes them. They're
He
cute.
likes
They're
them.
cute.
They're
They're
cute.
fun to watch.
They are. All right, next question from Charlie Reimer, and I'm going to be the one who answers this one, is there cheese in the future? Absolutely, 100%. That was a big motivation behind this because I like really expensive cheese, and I might as well make it if I can, which I'm going to. I'm going to make bomb cheese.
Well, hopefully that's not you on the toilet.
Matt! All right, next question. It's your brother, so you can answer this one.
Oh.
Do they ever, Marshall Berger. Hi Marshall and Brittany and all our little nieces and nephews. Do they ever try to headbutt you to establish dominance?
So they're really short, so I'd have to be on my hands and knees for them to attempt to headbutt me.
Yeah, they could get you in the shin.
They really haven't tried to headbutt us, but you'll
The
watch
bucks
them
will fight, yeah.
You'll watch them try to headbutt other goats. I think that's just their social. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
But they haven't really headbutted us. If you get down low enough, then they're more likely to want to jump on your back.
Hazel will jump on you.
So they'll just jump on your back because
They like
they want to feel taller.
So, all right, next question is Kristen Mastalone. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Will you be adding any mules or what did I type there? Draft horses to help plow a garden? Shut up.
Cross-dressing goats.
To help plow a garden or move timber. No. No, you're thinking too hard about this. You can't drive a pair of mules.
No, not mules. A big draft horse would be cool to pull logs out of the forest.
That eats more than those 2 do.
Well,
Yeah. We don't have a garden big enough, and we're going to be moving more towards raised beds for what we're doing. That garden plot is not big enough to worth having a horse.
We couldn't do a garden there to really expand our garden.
Mm-hmm.
We have a big front lawn area that we're not really utilizing, that we would have to plow it and really.
But we don't want to lose the yard space. Well, we're just going to do raised beds along the edge, but it wouldn't be worth the investment or the time and the maintenance to have them. We don't have grazing space. People hear all the time that we have land, and they're like, well, why don't you have cows or horses?
It's a lot.
We're woods.
Yeah.
We don't have grazing, so
all the usable space right now, unless we use a large portion of the front yard, we'd have to clear a lot of land. That would be a long ways.
We like our forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. All right, Diana, are they housebroken? The goats? Most definitely not. No. So when I bring the babies in, I just bring them in for about 10-15 minutes at a time, put them on a towel on my lap, and then we take them right back out. So that would be a bad idea. Though a few people have told me they put diapers on them and let them run around the house. So I guess that might be an option.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get on my couch without being on, because I'm like very specific about my couch. All right, Holly, again. When you chop down all those trees, do you grind the stumps to level ground so the horses, people, goats don't trip or hurt themselves? Or are you raising smart, non-padded stall country animals? The latter. But what we do is we go in, we cut down the trees. He goes in, he cuts down the trees. Corbin cuts up a lot of them. We all contribute to stacking them into burn piles. We burn it. When we burn it, how many do you think there's, like 6 to 10 inches of?
We don't grind the stumps.
We don't.
So to get to the point of trip hazards, after we clear the land, once we get the pine needles out, I'll go in and with a chainsaw and just above dirt level, hack off any trip hazards.
Yeah. And then you score them so they rot.
Well, the larger stumps, I'll score them just kind of a plus cut deep below the soil line. It'll take quite a bit of time, but over time, I'm going to let nature do its thing and break down the stumps, because that's a lot of stumps, and the renting of a stump grinder.
And the time it takes to grind them is not worth it.
Yeah, so.
The horses have had no problem making their way around the big stumps that are there. The goats love them. They use them as their goats.
The horses are really the only concern. On that.
And a lot of what we have to deal with is little saplings that we're taking out, and those stumps, Corbin and I'll go in with the Pulaski, which is like it's like a pickaxe on one side and sort of like a hatchet shape on the other.
It's an axe with a kind of a,
So we're able to break up those small ones and pull them out, plus they rot really fast, and the horses just kind of kick them out.
Big ones will take time, but I try to cut them off close to the ground.
It's not bad.
After that, hopefully the horses just learn.
Yeah, they do. They haven't had any problem. We haven't had any issues
broken
with that.
legs
or abscesses or punctured soles. So all right, last one is Julie. If you could start off with one chicken or two, which breed of chicken would you choose and why? And I thought that was a really good question, because we ordered to start.
What's all the breeds first off?
Okay, so we have Astralorps, Black Sex-Link, Golden Comets. We have one Princess Calico. We have silver laced, no we don't. We have golden laced Wyandottes. We have red and blue laced Wyandottes. Did I say Astralorp? Yes. What else is out there? Is that it? Well, we have a couple Bantams.
They're not.
They don't count.
So we got the chickens initially for just the egg laying. So Scylla could probably tell you better than I which ones produce the more eggs.
Yeah.
As far as just the chickens themselves, when they're free ranging and you're just watching them for entertainment value, again, I don't watch a lot of TV, so chickens are entertainment. There are some, like the golden ones, the ones that have the pretty colors.
Yeah, the Wyandottes, I think, are
the black
my favorite
Sex-Lings
too.
are just,
Well, and that's the interesting part, because Golden Comets and the Black Sex-Lings, I will always have those, because they are
good egg layers.
Absolutely. They are still laying. They're the ones who are laying right now. Oh, that's what I did say. We have Easter eggers and all of it.
There you go. So some of the breeds, they lay eggs, some better than others.
Yeah.
There's some that are just very
Pretty,
ornate.
Well, and the Wyandottes look like a very classical chicken. You know, like a farmhouse chicken.
Sure, whatever that means. So, yeah, if you're interested in just egg production,
just production.
then black sexlings.
Well, there's red and black sexlings. We have the black ones, but either of those, they seem to be high producers. The Astralorps are supposed to be high producers, but I don't particularly like the chickens. They don't have any kind of personality, whereas the sexlings and the golden comets.
Neither do I.
What? That's not true. He has a personality. He just keeps it hidden.
So, and if we were to talk meat birds, then we would, if you wanted chickens for meat, then there would be different breeds that we would probably suggest. Cornish crosses
grow fast.
They grow fast,
messy,
but they're just ugly and messy.
Nasty, gross.
But
Red Rangers are supposed to be. They're
so
like
dual purpose. If we were going for meat and eggs, a good dual purpose bird would be
heritage. I don't know that one. I haven't gotten that far.
So we'll have to look into that because we're probably going to go that route rather than getting Cornish crosses again.
Because nobody can breed Cornish crosses at home. You have to order Cornish cross from a hatchery. What we would like to do is just be able to get an initial flock of a dual purpose chicken and have them laying eggs.
Breed them, incubate the eggs, hatch our own.
Yeah, and then have them doing that and then just cycling out the older chickens as we need chicken instead of taking up a lot of space in the freezer. And also I think that's the one thing I didn't enjoy at all was those Cornish cross.
Yeah.
They're gross.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the last question. Thank you all so much for asking our questions. And since Matt likes ending so much, I'll let him close this vlog.
So she didn't tell me about this, but thank you for watching. Hopefully your questions were answered, and we will see you next time.
All right, bye.